In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Welcome to another edition of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we have an exciting show for you tonight. Very, very exciting manhood training we're talking about tonight. So we want to welcome you all, Jock Nation, to your program, to your podcast. It's 7 o'clock. It's Tuesday. And you know it's Jock Brothers time. It's Jock Brothers time. So before we get to our special guest, I would like to introduce some superheroes, my brothers in the struggle of bringing in that beautiful content every week. I would like to bring to the camera our brother, your brother. He's a well-traveled scholar. He's been all over the world, but our brother, he's a collector of information. He loves new information and he loves to share. So let's bring our brother up, Brother Ahmed BR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. I'm your brother, Brother Ahmed. We have a great show for you tonight. A group of men who shocked the world with fearlessly fought against drugs. What was that?
Go ahead, brother. He was talking to somebody else. Go ahead, brother.
A group of men who fearlessly fought against drugs and saving our community, the Dope Busters. Please, please share this information. It's going to be a very exciting interview. Thank you all for joining on. Back to you, Jack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let's go to our brother who is, he's in every profession. He has like 19 licenses, 15 degrees, and he's starting a new business tomorrow. Our brother is a Renaissance soldier. He's always looking for the next big thing. Let's bring up our brother and your brother, Brother Kawi. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there's no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger, and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder and one of this in our midst. I am extremely happy to finally, after many months of trying and working with these brothers, to have the leadership, the ground crew that led the men in Mayfair Mansion, the Dope Busters, one of the most famous stories in the Nation of Islam. I really hope and pray that you enjoy this show. They're going to give us some definitely some background information and to the thinking of this show. So I seriously look forward to hearing this show. And of course, thank you for tuning in to the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. For those that's been with us from day one, that's been with us for a while, we thank you for continuously watching our podcast and supporting us. As always, words can't express to you how much we appreciate the support you give us each and every week. As always, we ask you to please share and subscribe and hit the bell so you can be along or get notice for any other upcoming Jock Brother episodes that we have going on. And for those that have donated to the platform, thank you. We just cannot thank you enough for not only supporting us with your viewership, but backing us financially so we can grow into where we are currently at. And that's like absolutely a tremendous big room for growth just for us. And we look forward to that growth, and I hope you look forward to it as well. Now, if you want to continue to support the Jock Brothers, it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's Cash App, $ Jock Bros, $JAKQBROS. Please donate. Anything you give from the bottom of the heart is much appreciated. Now, Jock Brothers also has a prison initiative. We've been running this prison initiative for over half a year now. We thank you for all the donations. We have much more names of brothers that we haven't not gotten the monies for to send them subscriptions. Please support the brothers, our brothers that's behind bars with the subscription of the Final Call newspaper. The pricing is $18 for a 3-month subscription, 90 days. they get the paper, the Final Call newspaper behind bars. It's like $30 for a half year, $60 for the year to get the Final Call newspaper. Please support that endeavor. I mean, it's really helping a lot of brothers that get these papers. I think it's said that if one person get the paper, seven will get a chance. That paper will touch 7 people's hand. But I got to say, if you behind bars and the person get a paper, about 20-25 may get a chance to put their hands on the Final Call. So who knows? But only Allah knows. But it's just the fact that we even think about our brothers behind bars. And if you want to get behind that endeavor as well, please cash app us to, again, $ Jock Bros, $JAKQ BROS. And if you know of somebody that's behind bars that desires to get a subscription to the Final Call newspaper, of course, the baddest newspaper, coast to coast, continent to continent, right here, Jock Brothers Viewers at gmail.com. That's where you will put the information at right there. Of course, their name, inmate number, facility, whatever you have that can get us to get that paper to that particular individual. We whether it's a brother, whether it's a sister that's behind bars, we want to get the Final Call paper to them while they are currently incarcerated. Again, jockbrothersviewers.com to give that information. That's what I have for you. Thank you there, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's go to work. All right. I have the esteemed honor of introducing our special guest tonight. These brothers have done a tremendous work, a tremendous pioneering work in the DC area community where it was not done before them. So it was a pioneer work. We lost one. We just lost our brother. I want to first announce that our brother Abdul, Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, will not be on the program tonight. He has another engagement that he has to point his attention to, but we thank him as always because he accepts our invitation all the time. So we thank our brother Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, who I spoke with today. He is fired up as usual. He is always ready and willing to serve, but we thank him for his labor and his sacrifice. But we wish we could have had him tonight, but it is what it is. May Allah be with all of us as we move forward. So we lost our brother Henry. So I'm gonna start with you, Brother Darrell Muhammad.
Brother Henry's on.
Is he back?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Okay. We lost Ahmed. Okay, Brother Henry.
Yes, sir.
Our brother came in the nation in 1987, got his ex in 1987. He was a lieutenant at Mosque Number 4. The squad that Minister Sharif had gotten so big that they had to cut the squad in half. Brother Tim took half and he took the other half. And Brother Tim was the first officer. He became the second officer. And he also became part of our Nation of Islam investigator team, in which he functions right now in the Mid-Atlantic as the regional investigator. He is very active in our Nation of Islam. Let us welcome our brother Henry Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Right. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir.
Brother Kwawi, Brother Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me on today. And we thank you and appreciate you for helping us, trying to help us to document the story of the Dope Busters.
Absolutely.
Now we got the book out. The memoir just came out by our Brother Timothy, Captain Emeritus. So the book has already been well read. It's on the move. It's spreading. So thank you for inviting us on tonight to help us to continue and tell the story of the Dope Busters. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I'd like to bring up our brother Darrell, who we affectionately call DC Darrell here in Atlanta.
That's right.
He's even known as DC Darrell in DC, I heard. Praise be to Allah. So our brother Darrell was born in Washington, D.C. He is the youngest of 3 brothers and 2 sisters, raised by a single mother. You know, the mothers, man, they do such a wonderful job. Our brother began his venture in the field of culinary art, but he knew he had another mission. He attended the Baptist church at Southeast DC. I don't know it don't say here if he sang in the choir or not. But our brother was in the church, and he was active. So he was spiritual. He was introduced to the nation by his older brother, Brother Ibrahim Muhammad, and he gave him the book How to Eat to Live. So our brother got married in 1986 to our sister Zenoya. They started a family and now have 5 children and 6 grandchildren. Praise be to Allah. Brother Darrell has served in several official capacities in the structure of the Nation of Islam, but the one post that was dear to him is drill instructor. So our brother definitely wrote his book, The Art of Drill. We want to support that as well. Our brother, The Art of Drill. Darrell Muhammad realized in 1988 the importance of drill after seeing the discipline that it instilled in men. And he witnessed the military drill not only having the effect of the driller, but also the viewer. So we want to welcome Jock Nation, our brother Darrell Muhammad, to the program. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum. So, of course, we want to thank Allah for giving us strength and health just to be present today, because a lot of our believers have passed away. And we're blessed to be able to be here today just to thank Allah for our health, our strength, and for him allowing us to even be a witness to his work, and be able to come on this show that's performed by the Jock Brothers. We appreciate y'all for all that y'all do and wanting to invite people who actually made an impact in history. And so, of course, we thank you all for even giving us this platform, and hopefully many more will come. So I'm ready to talk about this true story that we lived back in 1988. It's a history that none of us would never forget. All of us going to go to our grave with this story here, because it made such an impact, not only in DC, but throughout the whole entire world.
That's right.
So I'm thankful to be here tonight. Praise be to Allah.
That's right.
We lost Brother Jagged.
Oh, well.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, praise Allah. All right. So last but not least, our big brother, Brother Timothy Muhammad, who was on a couple weeks ago with his beautiful wife, Mr. Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to welcome our brother to the show. Brother Tim, as we have spoken of before, has been a member in the Nation of Islam for over 40 years. 40 years. He served as the FOI First Officer, student FOI Captain of Washington, D.C. He's also served as a minister here in Atlanta and throughout. He is a member of the original Dope Busters of Washington, D.C., a group of FOI that took one of the largest crack operations in the country and cleared them out of Mayfair Mansions.
That's right.
A housing project which was taken completely over. Brother Tim is also a founder of the Supreme Soldiers Motorcycle Club and helped student minister Malik Saeed organize the bikers for the 10-10-15. Brother Tim has released his book, Free, Justified, and Made Equal. Free, Justified, and Made Equal, a memoir of the original Dope Busters. So let's welcome again, Jock Nation. Let's welcome again, Jock Nation, our brother and your brother, Brother Timothy Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is, in fact, his exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder and Jesus in our midst.
Yeah.
I thank you all, brothers, for having us here, as Brother Darrell and Brother Henry said, to document what we accomplished in Mayfair Mansion. We went into Mayfair Mansion, which was documented as in the 10 most notorious dope, I guess, areas in the United States, number one on the East Coast. We went in there. I know you said a little while ago that, we were a little nervous or afraid, but I beg your pardon. We went in there as soldiers.
That's right.
There. I mean, that's real talk. We went in there as
That's right.
soldiers.
That's right.
We went in there. When the minister made the call, we say, all right, let's do this thing. And we went up in there. We faced the drug addicts. We faced the drug dealers. We faced straight up gangsters. We did what we had to do. And we took care of plenty of business. And we did it with the power of the God that he gave us. So I thank Allah for the brave men. These two men right there beside me were key in this operation, along with Brother, at that time, Captain Sharif, and none of this could have been possible without the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I thank you all for having us here. And you're doing a good job. I pray a lot that you keep this forum up. And let's get down to it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. The brother say we did plenty business. And so for those of you who don't know what we're speaking of, we want to show you a clip that we have of the dope busters of it being reported from the news agency. We have, it's several clips, but we're going to show you one. I believe this is one with, is it Tom Brokaw, if I'm not mistaken? Brother Cowley.
Of Washington, D.C. prompted residents there yesterday to bypass the police. NBC's Robert Hager reports tonight on the explosive situation that developed.
Police say this rundown apartment complex in inner city Washington is an open-air market for cocaine and crack. So when a local mosque of Louis Farrakhan's Nation of Islam offered to send its members to patrol against drug dealers, apartment dwellers agreed, even supplied keys so the Muslims could search apartments and examine people they felt didn't belong. But the patrollers became violent when they spotted a suspicious man with a gun. A cameraman from NBC station WRC television ran to record the scene. Then the Muslims turned on the cameraman and reporter Joe Johns.
A bunch of people rushed me, and I closed my eyes, and there were more and more people on top of me. Eventually, I was forced to the ground. I was still holding on to the camera. And at some point, someone was hitting or kicking me in the face, in the eye.
Johns was treated for cuts and a bruised eye. The man who was beaten is in stable condition and charged because he had the gun. One member of the Nation of Islam was arrested for assault. Abdul Alim Muhammad defended the Muslims.
We're not vigilantes. We are vigilant citizens of this community.
But Washington's mayor, Marion Barry, had a warning.
It's unfortunate that this turned into a violent situation. There's no way we can allow citizens to be judge, jury, and prosecutor.
The neighbors want the Muslims to continue their patrols, and police say the Muslims have the right, but have no right to use violence. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
In Florida today, a killer.
All right, thank you, Brother Kawi. Oh, we don't have the right to use violence. They want to say we're vigilantes. And you got that, Kawi? Our community was being run over. No one wanted to do anything. So our unarmed FOI brothers, only armed with the Spirit of God,
Right. Come on.
went into a community with love to clean it up. Brother Tim, you were the first officer at that time. You worked directly with Student Regional Minister Sharif, who was Captain Sharif at that time, or Captain William at that time. You got the instruction to go in. How did you feel on that day, brother?
Assalamu brother, on that day when Brother Sharif came to us and he got word from the minister that it was a go. You know, the minister had asked him to get in contact with each one of the brothers and make sure that they were in agreement with us going into the complex. Well, when he came to us with it, you know, we were all in agreement because we were in it anyhow. We were going in it on a regular. You know, I mean, we go in there, push the program, go door to door, talk to the people. Drug boys be there, they see us coming, they get the hell up out of there. You know, so we were doing it on a regular basis. So when he asked us when we go in, you know, it wasn't no different than going in there or going to any other drug-plagued community or properties in Washington, D.C. We were doing it on a regular. So, brother, I mean, it was all part of what we did. D.C. at that time was a murder capital. We knew it, but we went in there armed, you know, with fearlessness and with the God on our side. So we weren't worried nothing about that, brother, you know. I mean, all of the brothers, D.C., brother, no matter where I go, I could be in Timbuktu. D.C. is my home, and D.C. is the home of some of the most courageous brothers that I've ever been a part of in my life. All praise is due to Allah.
That's right, brother.
And that's not taken away from me. It's just D.C., man. You know,
Yes, sir.
you know, I'm just saying, I'm living in Atlanta, but D.C., you my love.
Hey, well, that's all right, brother. I mean, you got brothers like Brother Darrell, who was newly registered. Brother Henry, who was also newly registered. You coming in the ranks, Brother Darrell, and you getting the instruction, okay, or you ask by the minister, you know, are you willing to go in there, risk your life? A newly registered member of the Nation of Islam, Brother Darrell, but you come and you ask, and you say yes. What's going through your mind at that time, brother?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I guess you could say 3 years was newly registered. You know, but when you're in the ranks for 3 years, it's almost like you've been in for a long time, you know. But just remembering the day, the same day that Brother Tim is talking about, you know, we was asked the question, but at the same time, it wasn't really a question. You know what I'm saying? That was an order pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we wasn't going to tell our captain, nah, we ain't going to do that. That's just real. We wasn't trained that way.
Come on now.
We wasn't trained in a way to just say, no, sir. You know, but I think one thing that if you listen to Minister Sharif, when he talk about the story, I think one of the key things is that when he point out that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan told him, if one brother don't agree, going in there, don't go. And that's showing you the love that the minister had for the brothers that actually went up in there.
Right.
You know, and the consideration for every individual brother.
Right.
But like I said before, we wasn't going to say no. No, even the brother that was in there that wanted to say no. He knew better. He wasn't going to say no amongst all of us that was up in there. Yes, and he knew all of us were soldiers. No, it wasn't going to be no such thing as no. You know, I'm going to say this, don't, you know, as it relates to just going up in there, I never really liked the name Dope Busters. You know, Brother Tim, Brother Henry can bear witness that was a name given to us by this crooked media, because see, they was trying to start something. Yes, you know, sir. I mean, that name went worldwide, you know, but Dope Busters, we was far from that. You know, we were saviors.
Come on, man.
You know, other people were going to a community, and Brother Henry and Brother Tim could remember this. They was called the guardian angel.
Right.
you know, call us the dope busters. But
Yes.
we was in there resurrecting the dead. When you check the police report, when we went up in there, that crime rate was so high and murders was taking place. People were dying. And so when we went in there and the murders stopped, what did that make us? We were saviors.
Come on now.
It wasn't about no damn dope for us to be considered dope busters. It was about the lives of our people that was in our minds that made us strong enough to have a desire to want to save these people because we saw the condition that they were in.
Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, this was a Monday morning when I was supposed to have been at work. And I told the, you know, the slave master that I'm sick today.
Come on now.
Couldn't make it in, not even knowing that we was gonna make the newspaper. And our pictures came up in the newspaper.
He ain't see.
I mean, it came up on my job. I was threatened.
Come on now.
You know, because they really pretty much caught me in a lie. Because I was used to it. You know? And so look, real quick, what I want to do, just like Brother Tim said, I mean, with these type of soldiers that we had in DC, it's unmatchable that went into Mayfair that first day. You know, when you saw, of course, you saw Dr. Lean, and we can't fail to mention Brother Captain Akil. You know, these are brothers who were intimately involved in going up in Mayfair. You know, when you talk about Brother Ernest, and when you see all these brothers walking on that video you showed, you know, Big E, and even Captain Alfred, you know, he was out there, and the Emery brothers, which was Dion and Troy, but they Nada and Naja now, and LeRon. All these brothers was out there with us on that first day. You saw somebody hiding behind a tree on one of the videos. I'm not going to say the name of that brother, but we was faced with guns out there.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? You saw Brother Phil out there walking with his briefcase. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can't fail to mention little Brother Wim. He was in the midst of the whole body slamming that took place, along with Brother Ronald at the time, who was considered to be the body slammer. These brothers, we can't fail to mention when you talk about going into Mayfair on that first day. Mighty Brother Amin, Brother Anthony, who we call Secret Skirl. You know, all these brothers was out there that day. All of Brother Alfonso's brothers, himself, Ali, Mo, Dwayne. You know, y'all remember all these brothers. I mean, when we went out there, and the beautiful thing about Alfonso, he was always sent ahead of time to go out there before we went, just to canvass the place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you had Johnny, Dwayne, Alfonso and them father, John 5X, Brother Amin, the older brother, Yahya. We didn't want him really in the midst of that, but he wanted to be out there. Yahya, James FX, all them brothers, man. I mean, a few brothers came afterwards, you know, after we went into Mayfair, but at the same time, they was an integral part, an intimately part. Somebody putting in the text, I mentioned Johnny, Marcus, all these brothers was like the advanced team. You know what I'm saying? Napoleon was out there. You saw Danny Queen walking out there. Brother Earth, Brother Scotty, Brother Forrest, Brother Cortland. You know, all these brothers, Brother Julius, Brother Mark Pringle. You saw all them brothers with the brother with the kufi. That was Mark Pringle. You saw Brother Major walking out there. We kind of lost him in Los Angeles somewhere, but he was out there with us that first day, if y'all remember. You know, we had, of course, Anthony 2X Bundy, who is now Muthakir now. I mean, all these brothers, man, you know, Mayfair would not have happened if these brothers that I'm naming would not have been out there. You know, Brother Raymond, Brother Edward, Brother Melvin. I mean, I could just go, it's a long list of brothers who played an integral part. You know, even Brother Tony, Sister Claudette's son. You know, Brother Thomas the barber. I mean, all these brothers, man, we thank Allah for being there with us on that first day. Mighty Brother Maurice, who Brother Tim mentioned in the book. You know, he was a soldier at that time, man. I mean, may Allah be pleased with him. He's not with us now, but Brother Tim gave him big props in the book, and he deserved it, man, because he was on the front line with us. You know, and Brother Anthony, I don't know if y'all studied that video real close, but it was a brother that was trying to take the gun away from Minister Sharif.
Yes.
We kind of figured, you know, what was his issue with that, but you know, that was Brother Anthony. He was out there with us that day, you know. But you know, we're gonna keep everything on the positive side. All these brothers, man, who I just named, and I'm quite sure Brother Tim, Brother Henry probably can think of more brothers. You know, even Captain Aaron, he came a little after Mayfair, but his input in establishing Mayfair was great as a lieutenant at that time. Right. Who is serving as the regional captain right now on the East Coast. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all them brothers, man, because without them, it wouldn't be us standing here representing them. We representing all them brothers, along with the absence of Minister Sharif, Dr. Aleem, and many more brothers, man, that we can tilt our hat to, man, and thank Allah that they was right there with us, ready to fight. And trust and believe, we fought. We fought. You see all those brothers on the clip right now. I believe I named very last one of them. That's on that thing there. Brother Mark from Boston, me and him was actually working together, and we both got in trouble that same day. So just thank Allah, man. And one quick thing as relates to a thanks too, because see, when Minister Sharif tells the story, prior to management approaching us at the mosque or approaching him, wanting to get in touch with him, see if we can come over there, just like Brother Tim stated, we stayed in the community. You know, we had the region come down. You know, captains from the region brought people down from Baltimore, Richmond, Newark. So we had hit Mayfair prior to the Dope Busters name. And when the management saw the effect that army had, they knew that we was the solution to their problems. You know, but that's showing that we presented that day a week before they came to us was a strategic effect that it had on the community, whereas though them people in the back of their head knew, even if you saw 20 brothers or 25, it's 50 or 100 more somewhere that would respond if something kicked off. Yes, so I just want to throw that out there. Praise be to Allah. We got some awesome pictures here. You see all them brothers I think I named. Mighty Brother Jamil, that's right, Brother James 3X, Alexander, look at Brother Forrest. All these Brother Charles, and then Brother Charles, he played an integral part. Brother Tim and Brother Henry, I mean, he was the maintenance man of Paradise. And so he joined on to the ranks, man, and helped us out. And actually, Brother Anthony, who was Brother Musa in there, he became the maintenance man of Mayfair. And so we was locking this property down.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it was a raggedy property and it was torn down. The percentage of occupancy was very low. Very low. And the property was like Beirut. That's what we called it.
Beirut.
The percentage of occupancy was low, really low. But we established a front up and we took control. I mean, I'm gonna put a pin right there and leave room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you got excited, but we appreciate you calling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because there would be nothing without the brotherhood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
You know, Brother Henry, you were newly registered, who was actually registered in 87.
Right.
And by you newly registered, did you know brothers from the street in the Mayfair? You know, you going in now as a savior, as a redeemer. I don't know if you grew up with any of the brothers in that area or anything. How did you feel going in, brother? As a newly registered brother.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Just like Brother Darrell was saying, even though I registered and got my X in 87, I got introduced to Minister Farrakhan in 1983. I was out there, like you said, I knew some of the people that was over in Mayfair, different other parts of the city, and engaged in that kind of activity. But I got introduced to the minister in the nation in 1983, and I accepted the teachings in 1985 when I saw Minister Farrakhan at the convention center with the Power Lasts Forever.
Okay, all right.
Products. That's what really got me and won me over. I went to the mosque that following Sunday and I accepted.
Yes, sir.
But it took me a while to get registered, because you know how it is sometimes when you dealing with addictions and different things like that, you're in and out,
Come on now.
bobbing back and forth and everything, trying to make your mind up.
Come on now.
But eventually in 1987, I came in and made my mind up that that's where I wanted to be. And that's why I got introduced to Brother Sharif. And I just want to tell you a little bit about when he became a lieutenant in D.C. You know, he was on the security team with the minister, and he was in and out of town, and he wasn't in the city that much. So he decided that he was going to slow down a little bit, come back in the city, be a lieutenant, and
Right.
mosque up. So I know when he approached me, I wasn't a part of any squad or anything. You know how you got the mosque situation where you see brothers standing on the fringes, you know, after the mosque meeting, they're standing there.
Yes, sir.
So he walks up to me one day, Brother Sharif walks up to me one day and says, he said, Brother Henry, he said, whose squad are you in? I said, I'm not in anybody's squad. He said, you in my squad then.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, he said, this is what I'm going to do. He said, take this pad right here. And he said, we don't have a squad now. He said, I don't have a squad. He said, so right now you be the secretary. He said, take your squad, take this paper, and I'm going to send brothers to you. Every time I send you a brother, I just want you to write his name down. So that's what I would do. A brother would come to me. He said, Brother William told me to come to see you. Okay, I write his name and his phone number down. So after we started doing that, fast forward a little bit, we did that for a while, and all of a sudden, I saw brothers come in the mosque. When they came in, I thought they were new brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
I saw Brother Jamil come in. I said, oh, this must be a new brother. They said, no, he ain't new. He just coming from Philly. He started here. So I signed him up, put him in the squad. Looked around again.
Come on, man.
Brother Tim came in. I thought he was new. I signed him up. He said, no, Brother Tim not new. Brother Tim was here from the beginning when the minister first stood up.
That's right.
For a while. Well, I'm just saying that just to say, when Brother Sharif became a lieutenant and people found out that he was a lieutenant, people started coming back. Fonzo came back. I didn't know who he was. Maurice, all them Wayne. So when he started that squad, he started off as the crack squad. That's what he named it. Not that kind of crack, now, you know, the discipline kind, that kind of crack, military.
Yes, sir.
And to make a long story short, he took the squad and he grew it. This grew it so big. The squad grew almost like it sucked the whole mosque up. The whole FY ended up looked like it was in the crack squad. So he said, "Wait, this squad here is getting pretty big." He said, "What I'm going to do, I'm going to divide this squad up here. He said, I'm going to make you a lieutenant now, and I'm going to make Tim a lieutenant. No, he said, I'm going to make you a squad leader, and I'm going to make Brother Tim a squad leader. And I'm going to take half of the squad, give them to you, and I'm going to get half, give it to Brother Tim." Mm-hmm. And when he did that, the next step was he became the captain. Mm-hmm. When he became the captain, Brother Tim became his first officer. I became the second officer. And Brother Darrell, you know, we didn't use third officer back then. But Brother Darrell, he was right behind me or even with me or whatever, whichever one you want to call it.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, that's how it all started. That's how it really all blew up, right from that little part right there. Mm. Okay. And the rest of it is history. Now, let me say a little bit about the picture that you always see. Now, you see the picture, the group picture where you see these brothers up under the tree with that picture. Now, that picture are what we call the original dope busters. When you hear that word, you're talking about that picture. Because like Brother Darrell just said, after a while, brothers start coming in. They called every FOI that they saw, whether you was in California, New York, or whatever, all over the dope busters. If you saw one on the street, regardless of what city, they go one of them dope busters. But when you look at that picture with those 25 to 30 brothers up under there, those were the original dope busters. Now, you probably want to know, how did they become original? Because the first day, like brother said, no, we wouldn't dare say no. We wouldn't dare say no, we not going to.
That's right.
Because first of all, we was trained. We was trained physically and mentally. So we didn't have no fear. So we were supposed to report that Monday morning. We were supposed to report. Everybody had to report by 7 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. You start reporting at 7. But you had to be there by 8:30. And you had to sign in. If you remember, you had to sign in. If you got there after 8:30, then you was just there. But when they took that picture for the original dope busters, then that was the brothers that was on that. That was the 20. What they call the 25 to 30 brothers that was there before 8:30.
Those are on time, brother.
Right. Those were the ones that shut it down.
Praise Allah.
Those were the brothers that shut that whole operation down with no fear at all. Because we were trained. That's why I mentioned Brother Saheed. He trained us well, Brother Saheed. So I'm going to put a pin in it right there so we can move forward and we can go ahead and cover this thing out.
Wait, because you got to tell us how your mindset and when you had a group of men and you walked into that life and death situation, black man. You got to give us that.
Okay. Well, now that situation with the brother with the shotgun, nobody expected that to happen. Okay, when I got there, it was after 7 o'clock, but it wasn't 8:30 yet. When I got there, that part was just ending. It was just ending.
Oh, it was early in the morning.
Yeah, they happened early in the morning.
Early in the
time
morning.
I got there, everybody had got dusted. The cameraman was dusted. Joe Johns was dusted. Brother that had a shotgun, he was dusted. He going to the hospital. So we was giving instructions to the officer. The lieutenant was giving instructions, say, get the brothers off of the courtyard, take them upstairs and put them in the command post. Because we already know the police was coming. You just dusted a NBC cameraman and a reporter. The police gonna come.
Come on now.
So the brothers went upstairs. We put them in ranks. I think it was about 3 ranks upstairs. That's a little apartment, the bedroom in a little apartment. We put them in ranks. And I can see right now, I can see Brother Anthony Muhammad, he was up there. Brother Scotty was up there. Brother Maurice was up there. And I know Brother Lawrence was up there. I can't never forget Brother Lawrence. So we up there just waiting, just to see what's going to happen. We off of the courtyard. But all of a sudden, we heard a little noise coming up the steps. And the door opened. It was anywhere from 6 to 10 police officers walks in the door. With the white shirt. With the white shirt, he was like the 6th district deputy chief. They walks in the room. They got vests on. They had hardware vests, shotguns, 9mm. They was armed, heavy. They were looking for the person who beat up the cameraman and the reporter. And he was up there, who they thought it was, he was up in that room. So the white shirt deputy chief, he gave one of the officers the instructions after the cameraman, I think his name was Harry Davis. He pointed out Brother Maurice X as the one who beat him up and tried to take his camera. Yeah. So he instructed the police to walk up and try to pull him out of the ranks.
Right.
So he walks up, reaches his arm out. Brother Lawrence moved one, he advanced one step up and said Allahu Akbar. When he walked up, when he advanced one step up and said Allahu Akbar, then we the brothers that was in ranks followed suit behind him. And they said Allahu Akbar until they made at least 3 steps. They had got 3 steps up there. And started saying Allahu Akbar. Then it got loud and loud, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So the policeman was confused. They started looking at each other. You know how you look at each other? What are we gonna do? But them guns were pointed right at us. You could see shotgun pointed at us, 9mm pistols, and everything they had, they pointed right at us. But for some reason, the law was with us. All of them just started backing up out the door.
Come on now.
They started backing backwards. All of them like they were backing out the door, trying to get out there at the same time. They were getting squares in the door, squares all up in the door, trying to get out at the same time. So eventually they backed. We kept on saying Allahu Akbar, and we backed them all the way downstairs. All the way, because we was up on the top floor. Backed them all the way downstairs, saying Allahu Akbar. And by the time they got to the bottom of the steps, that's when Brother Tim and Brother Sharif, who was out on the courtyard with the chief of police, I think.
Yeah.
And that's when Brother Sharif ran up on top of the stoop real quick and fast. Told us to get back. You know how you tell a dog or look old dog to get back, go back upstairs. Go back, get back. we retreated. We went on back upstairs.
Yeah.
Got back in ranks. Then a little later on, about 5 minutes, then Sharif came upstairs with the chief or deputy chief, and he gave Brother Sharif permission to fall out. Told Brother Maurice to fall out of ranks, and Brother Maurice fell out of ranks. And Sharif, the chief, and Brother Maurice went on down the steps.
Yes, sir.
And yes, I think once he got outside, that's when they turned him over to the police. But when they arrested him and put him in the paddy wagon, by the end of that day, he was back out, and I believe they dropped the charges.
So I got a question, brothers.
Well, hold on, Calvin.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, sir.
You know, Dr. Lean, they called Dr. Lean about that incident, and Dr. Lean, he said, well, the cameraman was in hot pursuit of a story. This according to Brother Tim's book. This is in Brother Tim's book, Free, Justified, and Made Equal. He said, well, the cameraman was in hot pursuit of a story, and we were in hot pursuit of a drug dealer. Momentarily, our paths crossed. So that was the incident. Our paths crossed. Go ahead, Brother Kawi.
So, you know, I'm really fascinated with the Dope Buster story. You know, the fact that y'all went up in that in Mayfair Mansion with that proven history of violence like that. You know, my question to you is, it's like I got a lot of questions. Really, I know we ain't got enough time on this show for these questions, but you know, did y'all go to another unit to get like? I mean, how did you? I mean, where did you get this from? Like, to just go in like you did? What did the game plan come from? Did you try another project first? Something that was less dangerous and work with that and just kind of like fell in your lap? Or it was just it was the first one that you actually went into? Was it? I mean, can you elaborate on that?
We want to let Brother Tim answer that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, Mayfair Mansion was about just a few blocks from the mosque, you know, and it was not like it was a stranger to us. It's right down the street. Like I said, we were doing door to door, selling the program, you know, the papers and things that sort. Not only Mayfair Mansion, you know, we did that all over the city. In one program, I spoke how we had divided the city up. You know, we had lieutenants going to different areas of the city to do to push the program. Mayfair Mansion just happened to be right down the street from the mosque. In other words, mosque number 4 was in a hot zone for drugs because right down the street from Mayfair Mansion. So we were going there doing door-to-door sales. We didn't care anything about no drug board, and anything else like that. We didn't even know the statistics at that time of Mayfair Mansion. We were just pushing God's program. That's what we did. So it wasn't like it was something we had to think about to go up in there. We were going all over the city doing the same thing. Yeah, we had a site that we used to call New Jack City, which is in the book. Called one site, Potomac Garden, was where they actually cooked the drug. That was right on Capitol Hill. You know, at Capitol Hill, that's up there where the Capitol was, you know, the library, all that kind of stuff. So it was right there. And Capitol Hill was a hot zone. Later on, we were there. Wherever the problem was, after a while, we were there. As a matter of fact, we started the community patrols. After we started with the dope bus control, as they say, then the people started coming to us to see how we did it. How do y'all do that? You know, I mean, what is it about y'all that you can go in the community and just clean it up and everything be okay? So they wanted to come to us for training. So, Brother, we've had us to go out to various different communities and talk to the people and give them some guidance, you know, about how to go out. We told them it would be dangerous, but still they could do it. And we had various different techniques, you know. We told them light the community up, you know, because drug dealers and crackheads, just like roaches, they like to operate in the dark. So you put bright lights all on your property, which most of the property didn't have. You light it up, then they're exposed. They didn't like that. We started using video cameras, you know. So once we would come around and drug boy making deal, they said video camera, they scoop, you know. We started all kind of techniques, to help us. And we showed the people how they could do it, you know, and that would make it a little bit more safe for them. So Mayfair Mansion was only one property. Yeah, it was number one on the East Coast. We didn't know it at the time, you know. We just took care of business. That's the way it was, you know. But there were other properties that was hot. It was hot as hell, man, you know. So I mean, that's what we did, brother. Look, man. Look, we the FOI.
Come on now.
Like Brother Dow said, we ain't know anything about no damn dope person. We didn't know at the time. We were given that name.
Right.
We are the FOI. Farrakhan made us. You know, we ain't go up in there with no fear. So brothers that are afraid, you know, when you come to FOI, that fear is supposed to leave, man. That's what we train. So DC became a training ground. Not just that we did it, it became a training ground. You know, the minister sent various people, captain, lieutenant to DC to be trained because it was a training ground. You know, so that's how we used to roll with that. No, brother, we come down to being fearful over that. No, we train not to be afraid. We say, if you got God on your side, Allah, Master Fard, Muhammad, ain't no fear. We're trained not to be that way.
Come on, man.
I take care of it. And that's how we did that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. That's how we did that thing, Kyle. You here?
That's right.
We're going there to take care of you.
If I may follow up on what Tim is saying.
Go ahead, Brother D.
As it relates to, number one, the strategy and going into these properties and removing some of the fear that certain brothers had, what would we do? We'd get in formation right in the middle of the courtyard.
Come on now.
50 men sometimes 100 men. And so how would we introduce to these people on these sites that we had their best interests at heart? We'll start drilling. And one of the cadence we used to use, Tim and Brother Henry remember, we used to just drill hard with saying, black people, we love you, go, crush it out, stomp it out. I mean, we had a cadence, and brothers was drilling to this real hard, and we had all the people coming out of their houses, joining on, wanting to drill with us, and we was constantly saying, "Black people, we love you. Dope, dope, crush it out, stomp it out, crush it out,
Right.
push your man, you gotta go." We had some serious cadence.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's
Praise
right.
Allah.
The Clifton Terrace and Potomac Gardens, man, them damn things gave me engrams. Boy, I tell you, y'all talking about some Mayfair. To be honest with you, bro, Henry and bro Tim can bear witness. Mayfair was lightweight compared to Potomac Gardens and Clifton Terrace.
Yeah, some of that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Lightweight.
Well, when you establish the beachhead, you had a nice little I don't know what you call it, a security desk. Well, brother got shot. It got shot up. Brother came there with a assault rifle and shot it. According to Brother Tim book, shot the booth up, and he was on his scrape. Let's talk about some of those incidents, Brother Tim.
Yeah, that was Brother Tyrone. I mean, Brother Tyrone was on the was in the guard booth, which is at the mouth of Mayfair Mansion, and he was there by himself. And the brother came up one night while he was in the booth, point blank range, and emptied the gun in the booth. You know, and on the tip of his finger.
Come on now.
The tip of his finger got shot at point range in the booth and emptied the gun in the booth. That's why I said in the book, I would teach the brothers, you know, when things were like that was happening, I said, brother, I no longer believe that Allah is God. I know He's God, man.
Come on, man.
With of the way, every step of the way. You know, it was only Allah, man, that brought us through all this stuff. We had no gun. We didn't need one. We had the God. He's the biggest gun, you know. So, no, brother, I mean, hey. Yeah,
and we were out of town, right, Brother Tim? I think we was in L.A. when that happened.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you also talk about another incident in the book with you and Minister Sharif, where you all was in the back seat of the car, and the brother came and stuck the automatic rifle in the back seat and pulled the trigger. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was a 9mm, brother.
9mm.
Matter of fact, one of the brothers. Yeah, right. One of the brothers, Brother Child, he said that his little baby sister had been kidnapped by the drug boy. So he come up to the command post but it was like in the middle of the day. You know, a lot of brothers, some brothers still at work and everything. So Brother Sharif just gathered, you know, the brother that he could gather, you know, at that time to go. So I was up there with me. He said, Brother Tim, come on, you know, let's go. So we left, and we got Brother Eric, Brother Cortland, myself, Brother Keel, Brother Maurice, Brother
Charles,
Sharif, Brother Charles, and that was it. It was the 7 of us. That was it. So we got what we could gather. We went to the place. Some of the people at the apartment complex knew where the crack house was, the drug house. So they told us what the apartment was. The people had some kind of, and they told us they had a board or something behind the door. So when they when we went up there, we identified the apartment complex, and then we said, hey, you know, we got to get up in there. So Brother Cortland, he was the first one. I was the second one. Brother Cortland hit the door with his shoulder, you know, and he bounced. He bounced off the door and couldn't get in. So then we hit the door again, him and I together. We hit the door with everything we had, and the door broke open. And when the door broke open, all of us rushed in. You know, we went in very different place, went into the front, went into the back, all of that. And we went in the bathroom, man. I mean, it was like we caught him by surprise. He couldn't get to the weapon, and we just gave him a natural beat there. we put something on that ass. So now, so at that time,
Come on,
one
man.
boy jumped out the window, second story window. He jumped out. They didn't know who we were, but the police, robber gang, whatever. He just jumped out the window. Okay, so once we got the sister, took her on the way, then we retreated, to the car. When we got to the car, I think Brother Charles was driving. I think Brother Akil was in the front, but Sharif got in the back. I got in the back. Some brother that was on the corner, drug on the corner, had a gun. He came right to the back of the car and put the gun in the back of the car and pulled the trigger, and it snapped. He pulled the trigger and it snapped and misfired again. And then brother pulled out. As he pulled out, the man just pointed the gun up in there and pulled the trigger. And he shot. It fired.
Come on, Master Fard.
Look, Master Fard was on the job. We don't believe he's God.
Right.
We know he's God.
Come on now.
So let me first of all, I want to give a couple of shout outs. We got some Kevin Green. You got a Kevin Green tuning in, man. Kevin Green, Matin Muhammad, Flow Box Movers, a sister named Candy. Man, they super excited about this, sir. I believe y'all know these. I believe y'all know them.
Yeah, Flow Box, Brother Raymond.
Yeah. You got a CM. Yes, I can't pronounce the name, brothers. They talking about some Clifton Terrace. But listen, this is my question, brother. I know I heard y'all say it, what y'all said, but I got to ask you a different way. All right, now I know y'all seen the movie 300. Well, they had 300 men go against all those armies. They had a vetting system, how they got to their 300 men. It was thousands of men back at the camp, but only 300 was chosen. Now, I was in the military. We had to go on some. Everybody couldn't go. They only wanted the guys that was going to go. They trusted to go out there. Sergeant, look at us. He'll tell us what our assignments were. The ones that he wasn't so sure about, he left them in the rear to be radio operators or to just help out in the rear. Only the real hitters had to go, right? Now, you got this Clifton Terrace, you got this Mayfair Manor. Clearly they some tough projects. Now, I heard you earlier, but it's hard to believe that you took everybody with you when you had to go in a situation like that. Can you please tell me your vetting process to get the type of men you needed to get that type of job done?
To everybody.
You know what the vetting process was? They were FOI.
Come on now. That's it. That's it, brother.
That's it.
That's it. That's it, bro.
I'm not trying to be funny. In DC, there were FOI. All of us were trained to do.
Come on now.
There were FOI, fruit.
That's
it.
It
No vetting process. The vetting was the training of the FOI.
Come on, man.
And we took them up in there. All were trained, man. Like I said, DC was a training ground. That's real talk. I'm not just puffing wind. That's real talk. DC was a training ground. They were FOI. They were fruit of Islam. So that was our vetting process. We didn't have to pick one out for this, pick one out. You go this way because maybe a little bit dangerous. No, hell no. All of them was dangerous. Just like Brother Dow said about Clifton Terrace and Potomac God. When we went in Mayfair Mansion, they scattered. They had to go someplace else. So they were setting up, the drug boy was setting up sites other places. So they went to other places like Clifton Terrace and Potomac Garden and other places like that because they couldn't stay in Mayfair Mansion. Then when those places got hot, they would call us, give us a contract. Can you come and help us? We would go there. And we end up facing the same thing. And sometimes more. Because when we went to Clifton Terrace, they were talking trash. They, y'all ain't coming up in here doing what y'all ain't Mayfair Mansion, And they were vicious. But still, man, Allah, Master Fard Muhammad is God.
Come on now.
That's real.
I know that the media at one time.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
we got to understand also that when we went into Mayfair Mansion, that was the first one.
Right.
But we didn't just happen to wake up Sunday night and say we going into Mayfair Mansion Monday morning. We trained for like 45 days for that. Yeah, we went through what they call basic training. We trained running. We was always into the arts, so we was always.
That's right.
You know, them arts make you disciplined. That you know, the fear. You don't have no fear anyway. You just waiting for to use it anyway.
Come on now.
So we had that, and then we trained real hard running. You know, where your stamina for like 45 days. Now, you know how they say. You know how you say before you go to war, you warn the people first. So we would. In the morning, doing our training, we would run around Mayfair Mansion, just run around like Marines, and we would do exactly what Brother Darrell said. The potatoes we were using, dope, stamp it out. We were doing that, and the dope boys were standing out in the courtyard looking at us, laughing. Hey, look at them jokes.
Yeah.
Not knowing that
We'll be back.
45 days later, they was
Come on now.
We went up in there and cleaned it out. We was trained. And the law was with us.
Training. What is what is the meaning of FOI? The fruit of Islam, the name given to the military training of the men who belong to Islam in North America. Military training implies tactics. Military training implies maneuvers. Military training implies going behind the lines in enemy territory. Military training implies establishing a beachhead in enemy territory and proceeding to take over.
Now look, check this out. On that note, some of the stories haven't been told about how in Mayfair, the Muslims started occupying most of those units out there. Wow. So we moved into Mayfair.
That's right.
And we put a flag of Islam on the roof of the command post.
Exactly.
So you talking about establishing a beachhead and then proceeding to take control?
Come on, man.
You had almost 30 to 40% of Muslim families that moved out into Mayfair after we established it.
That's right.
That's right. Exactly.
If it wasn't for us going out there like we did, because like I said, this was a rundown, tore up property.
Right.
And so what they did, once they saw that we had stabilized everything, they put so much money in this property and renovated the whole entire property and made every unit brand new.
Right.
Come on,
then
man.
we started moving up in there. We put that flag on the command post. We had 2 offices up in there.
Right.
Yeah.
We took control of that property.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother. I tell you.
Come on,
you was 40%. Only 40% occupied when we were there. Only 40%.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Mr. Reynolds put that money up in there. He wanted us to come up in there, you know, as being good citizens, to come up in there and keep his place, you know, in good condition. So, and Brother Darrell said, yeah, we lived there, you know, and we lived in many properties all over the city. Look, we declared the city to be ours. And that's what we went up in there to do, to take the city, man.
Come on, man.
We took brothers, man, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, put lieutenants in each section of that city, established a beachhead in that particular part of the city. And then once we became licensed, you know, our security got contract, we set up command posts all over the damn city to take it just like that.
Just like that, man. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Just like that. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Well, no, my question was, you know, I know that at one point the media was portraying you all as vigilantes, and that kind of made it a little difficult for you. But I know Allah sends you help. But did you get help in places where that just wowed you, like that just surprised you, like you didn't even expect it?
But Tim, it'd probably be a good time to talk about Lieutenant Hamza.
Lieutenant Duckett. Yeah,
Lieutenant Duckett.
Brother Hamza was right, which is, you know, it's a slave named Lieutenant Duckett, but the minister gave him the name Hamza Muhammad. You know, now he was so key, that brother, man. I mean, even to the point where he came into the ranks, you know. But he was head of the Black Police Union, and he came up in there. And matter of fact, I talked to Brother Hamza, and he told me that when we first went into Mayfair Mansion, he said that the chief of police was at that time was Maurice Turner, Chief Maurice Turner.
Mhm.
He asked Hamza to go into Mayfair Mansion and protect us, not from the drug boy, but from the police, because the police in DC was so crooked. You know, you didn't know which one was good, which one was bad. So DC was infiltrated with this rogue, crooked cop. Hamza was one, and the brothers that he had in the Black Police Union. So he set all of them in motion to actually take care of us, you know, and back us up, you know, if we needed it. But that's with the police officer. We still had to deal, you know, with the drug boy. But Hamza was very key. That brother was very key. And I always tell him he's my brother from another mother, you know, because I gave him his first, you know, message to the black man. And I say, if you ever ride and all that, you know, as he came in. He was very key, you know, in helping us. And I thank him. And I thank a lot for him very much, you know, and he would have been on tonight, but he's having some problems.
Yes, sir.
Because he had to go to the hospital. Yes, sir.
Give our brother the greetings, brother. You know, Brother Tim, in your book, you also talked about the different community services that develop, like as Brother Darrell said, from you establishing the beachhead. You got the Abundant Life Clinic, you know, different things. I wanted you to talk about that, you know, just establishing the beachhead and how you're able to now put forth programs. Can you talk about that, sir?
Yes, sir. We'll let Brother Darrell take care. I think I'm talking too much. Let Brother Darrell take care of that.
Okay. Brother Darrell.
I mean, just from our memory, if Brother Henry could remember, we established a rehab center also that was in Mayfair. And if y'all can remember, Spike Lee sent his blood brother, Chris Lee. And so he was one of the members that we had to pretty much babysit, because we established a rehab center there. And on the property of Mayfair, they had a rec center. And in this rec center, you talking about all types of manhood training class, as well as womanhood training classes that we set up within Mayfair in that rec center. In addition to the Abundant Life Clinic, I mean, we started rocking. You talking about taking control?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also read a daycare center, and then also in your book, Brother Tim, you were saying that when you all came out the next day, the children had come out, and it was like they hadn't been out in the community for months.
Right.
Right.
Like I said,
talk about that feeling.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him, Brother Henry.
Yeah, you know, if you got a apartment complex that looked like Mayfair Mansion looked like, well, only 40% of it was occupied, and the rest of it was boarded up, like condemned. And then the drug boys had it. They had it. They was out in the courtyard, 150, 200 of them at a time. So the children hadn't been outdoors to play in almost 2 years.
Come on now.
Little children. So after we cleaned it out, man, you would think it was Christmas time. You saw all these little brand new bicycles, little children riding bikes and playing with toys and all of that stuff. They were just glad to be outside in the courtyard where they lived to play like children play, because they couldn't do that for a long time.
Right.
For a long time, at least 2 years. Some of the older people that had to leave and go get medicine and stuff like that back and forth, they couldn't come out. That's why they looked at us like we was
like Brother Darrell said.
The apartment complex next door, Paradise Manor, they call it. We got that. We went in and cleaned that out and started setting up over there. That's where the Abundant Life Clinic started at. Dr. Ali Muhammad, he started Abundant Life Clinic in Paradise Manor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it was like when we went into Mayfair, you had the people, they was running up to us, calling us saviors and angels and stuff like that. Some of us was bowing down, just bending down at our feet and stuff. We had to tell them, get up, get up, get up, get up. We just have come out here to help you. But it sounded just like what was coming out of the men of the FOI to me when I heard them talk like that. So wow, they saying it for real.
Yes, sir.
Right. You said something in your book, but Tim, about the government actually blaming the Black community for accepting drugs in the community. Did I understand that right?
Yeah, right. I mean, of course, yeah, you get it right, because the government was trying to say that Black people wanted drugs, as though we accepted, crack. So they were acting like, okay, well, they want crack, we don't want to do anything about it, although they know they were bringing the crack up in there. See, look, man, Rayford Edmond, he was just a tool, just like Freeway Rick Ross, just a tool. These drugs was coming from the government, and were brought into the community. Rayford Edmond got into a deal with the cartel, and was allowing these drugs to come up in there, So the government knew exactly what was going on, man, in Washington, D.C., the nation capital. We were just a few miles from the damn White House, from the Capitol, all of that. Like I said, Potomac God was right on Capitol Hill, just a couple of blocks, man, from the Capitol. They knew exactly what was going on. So they allowed it. They made this happen. We didn't do it. They did it. They were trying to exterminate us with crack and other things that they have done in the Black community. You think this stuff got there haphazardly? No, they knew exactly what they were doing. But then when it came to them, when they started getting opioid and fentanyl and all this kind of stuff in the white community, then all of a sudden it's a crisis, because little white people up in Maine and Ohio, is hooked up on meth and taking all the opioid. They started suing the drug, the pharmaceutical. The white kid started getting addicted to these opioids. But for us, no, y'all niggas, y'all like that crack. So we're going to keep that crack coming to you. No, brother. Yeah, it was the government that did this stuff. Make no mistake about it.
Come on, man.
And let me just say this with y'all that probably blows some people's minds.
Everybody needs to read this book.
So two situations I'm gonna bring up, two scenarios that's going to probably blow some of your minds as it relates to what Brother Tim is saying, and give proof that there were crooked cops and police was in on this whole ordeal.
Come on, man.
One episode in Mayfair, we had a little incident out there one day, and the day after, the police came on the property with one of the troublemakers. Now, me and Brother Napoleon was on a patrol. One of the troublemakers pointed me out and Napoleon out, the brother that I was on patrol with, said, that's one of them right there, because the previous day, they had to get a little spanking. And so,
come on, man.
The police come, they put us both in handcuffs, put us in the car, take us to jail. When we get to the jail, one of the police officers says to me and Napoleon, let's see how much drugs you are going to bust while you up in here.
Come on now.
Another little episode, and Brother Tim, y'all know about this one. We at Potomac Gardens, we patrolling. Now, we made such friends with these drug boys out there to a point where they would confine us, and they would let us know things.
Yeah.
A few of them came to us and said, the police keep approaching them and asking them, why are you all allowing them to disrupt what y'all doing?
Right.
Come on, man.
Right. That's right.
Look at the position that these drug boys is in. The police is telling them, don't let them stop y'all from selling drugs.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You're
That's
messing
right.
with our money.
And
Right.
We
Look,
developed such a
look,
relationship
look.
that they told us this.
yep.
So
Right. Look,
Now,
brother Hamza told me one time that that the drug boys had formed a group of assassins, had formed a group of their best guys. They were going to attack the police precinct, you know, in I think with the 6th district, either 6th or 7th district, wherever that area was, you know, in Southeast. But they were going to attack the police precinct with everything that they had because they said the police were so crooked that they were taking their drugs, they were stopping them, robbing them, taking their drugs and doing all this. They said, well, we just will go for it. And they were going to attack the police precinct and try to kill everybody in the police precinct. Hamza told me the only thing that stopped him was that he was there. He talked to the brothers. He said, man, the biggest gang in town is the police department. He said, you all don't want to do that because not only would they kill you, they will come after your children, your parents, whatever. He said, don't do this, man. You don't want to do this. And he talked them down. But those police are so crooked, the drug boys were going to go on them. I mean, this is what we were dealing with, man.
Yeah, you had a war on two fronts. You had a war on two fronts. A war on two fronts at the same time.
That's why I give so much homage to Brother Hamza. That's why I love him and I thank you so much because you were doing stuff behind the scenes that we didn't know anything about.
And that's
Crazy
Police
people,
Lieutenant Hamza, right? That's Police Lieutenant Hamza.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant,
Yes,
Lord, brother,
yes, sir. Okay, well, look, brother.
Let me get one. Hold on. You know, so so brothers, this is like now I know y'all initial answer gonna be, but I just want you to elaborate on it now. What you did was fantastic for 1988. Can you implement that today to get the same job done? And if so, why? Why you think it'll work today?
The FOI training haven't changed.
Come on, black
It's
man.
what we put into it.
Hey,
You know, FOI training haven't changed. It's the same FOI training.
come on
You
now,
know, but how we train them, what we put into it, how we train them. We were trained to be fearless. We were trained. Look,
be brave.
we train all the time. Like Brother Henry said, we were always training. Like Brother Dow said, that's why I appreciate Brother Dow calling all of those brothers out.
right.
You know, the
Yes,
original
sir.
dope was a lot of them in my book, but I love him for calling those brothers out. These brothers,
sir.
you know, we were trained to be just that way. You know how it is when you go to the Marine Corps, they figure they're the baddest corps in the military, you know, but ain't nothing as bad as the FOI, you know, but we were trained that
Come on,
way.
man.
Why? Because we got God outside, alive with us, man, you know, so we can do it today. It just didn't happen in 88, but what we going to put into it to make it that way,
Come on, man.
you know,
Come on,
but
man.
it's still here. We can still FOI, same FOI, same training, same Quran, same message to the black man, same I say right, same minister. Now, Honorable
Come
Minister
on.
Louis Farrakhan. So ain't no different, man. It depends on what
Teach,
you want to
man.
put into it. They got community here in Atlanta, in DC, they still bad, whatever. What you put into it, what you gonna do about it?
Come on now.
It's there, brother.
Come on, man. Talk that talk, brother Tim. Talk that talk now, brother Darryl. You know, while we're closing, man, this is so beautiful, brother Darryl. In your book, The Art of Drill, you talk about true drilling and how the mentality of true drilling, the mentality, the attitude. I want you to, if you could touch on that, you know, true drilling and touch on that attitude of establishing
Yes,
a big head. Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna start out with one of Brother Tim's famous sayings. In every lieutenant meeting, Bro Henry, we could count on Bro Tim saying this.
Yes, sir.
The attitude of the leader becomes the leading attitude.
Mm.
Come on now.
And right behind that, Bro Tim would say, the only difference between work and play is the attitude that you take towards it.
Right.
And so just to kind of come back on what Brother Tim was saying and to answer your question at the same time, we had a mentality. See, we was beyond what the definition of faith is.
Come on,
See,
man.
what is faith? It's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. We wasn't hoping for nothing. We knew at this point we had the God with us.
Come on now.
So it was all evident of everything that we did, and we accepted that in our mind. We took on a certain mentality that we can't be defeated with what we're doing.
Right.
Because when we realized that we had Master Fard Muhammad with us after all these episodes, and none of us got really hurt and injured, man, what?
Right.
You talking about the attitude that we took?
Come on, man.
We knew that in any one of these properties that we went into, we were going to be successful.
Right.
Only because one of the things that Dr. Salim said in his interview, it was our moral force.
Come on
It
now.
was us going into these neighborhoods not in gangster style. We went into these neighborhoods as saviors of our people, and these brothers saw a genuine love for them. And these sisters, they saw this. They knew we wasn't tripping, thugs, being abusive with our authority. They saw that genuine concern for them in us that made them submissive to whatever we asked them to do. At certain points, we would just walk up and brothers would disperse. Don't even mess with them brothers, man. Them the Muslims, them the FOI.
Right.
It was no hostility, but of course you always had certain people that you had to confront and deal with.
Yes, sir.
I'm a real quick put Brother Sharif on the spot because it was one episode that Brother Henry, you remember, Brother Henry was on patrol one night at Mayfair. Now, mind you, this was at a point where we all had radios and we had to keep our radio on all night because where our brothers was out there on patrol, we had to see what was going on. And Brother Henry and them calls a code red. We know what code red mean, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
We call it code red. I'm like, oh man, I'm ready to go to sleep. It's late. You can't ignore code red.
Come on now.
You'd be crazy to ignore code red.
That's right.
Because that means your brothers is in distress and they need backup.
Right.
We went out there on the property, Bro Henry. I know you remember this. I don't know who was on patrol with you.
Brother Carlton.
Brother Carlton. Lord have mercy. They confronted these brothers that was just being rebellious. They was drinking, making loud noise. They was gambling, and they knew they was out of order.
Yeah.
You know that type of conduct wasn't allowed at this point when we had established Mayfair.
Come on now.
Now we out there, now Bro Henry and them call that code red. Now, of course, we got radio, so brothers started coming from everywhere. Everywhere. Then Brother Sharif, he walked up with a crew of brothers. I think he said, which one of them is it? Which one of them is it?
Yeah, that's what he
You
said.
know what he said, Bro Henry?
That's what he said.
And then he just hauled off and just.
That's how
Yeah,
minister, man.
Yeah,
That's
It was like, all of us was like, oh hell, here we go.
That's the minister.
Here we go. Here we go. And then at that point, it was a battle. It was a battle, man. We was at war
Come on now.
on
That's
this
right.
property.
That's right.
It was a battle. Police came from everywhere, man. And I don't even want to get into that whole story, but my whole point is that, man, we had some episodes out there where our mentality that we accepted and we knew, especially with what you read about now, with this drill piece,
Yes, sir.
we established things in the minds of brothers because we knew and understood that when you in formation and you drilling and you start instilling the lessons and the teachings,
Come on now.
you training this man. And that's why when Brother Tim said, I mean, the brothers got to be trained for us to have that type of effect in 88 as opposed to be now. Not saying that training isn't taking place, but we developed a serious bond that we had, a serious bond. And we, just like Brother Henry mentioned earlier, we would go out in the woods at night and stay overnight and train.
Yeah.
Some brothers want to get in their bed. No, ain't no such thing as getting in the bed.
Going out in the
We
woods
at night training, running through the woods, pitch dark, quoting general order,
That's right.
doing push-ups, getting up, running, training hard. I mean, and we came across some serious situations, even in the woods, that I'm not even going to mention right now, but we was training.
Yes,
And
sir.
it developed the type of brotherhood that it took to do the things that we did.
Right.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Brother Ahmed, you had some quick. Oh,
Yeah, I just had.
you faded out, Brother Tim.
No, what I was saying is that we were willing to die for each other. That's the
That's
thing.
right.
We were a brotherhood. We were a family. You know,
Yes,
and
sir.
you die for family. Your brotherhood. We died. We would die for each other. I mean, that was in it. We were willing to die for each other. You know, so you know, Allah saved us. He
Yes, sir.
spared us, but it wasn't because we weren't willing to do it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Brother Ahmed, go ahead, sir.
It's a I know you all were faced with a lot of adversities, and you were building up in the great work and the good work you were doing. You were building up a lot of enemies. I mean, the drug dealers, some of the people living in the tenements, getting persuaded and informed by the news media, corrupt police, government agencies, the ADL. Starting with you, Brother Henry, who would you say was your greatest opponent at that time?
At that time, well, I would say it was exactly who we talked about a little earlier, and that was the police department.
Right.
When we first went into, they was envious of us.
Yeah.
Because there's a story in there where we actually eventually had to end up getting in a fight with them and going to jail, a few of us. Now, I'm going to tell a story that Brother Darrell, you and Tim, y'all can remember. Brother Sharif, he told us about a story where these policemen approached him, these white policemen approached him in a way where it made it seem like they was trying to help us. So they tells him, you know, the Jamaican posse is up in New York, so they're gonna come down here and they're gonna kill all of y'all. So, wow, Jamaica, because when we went in Mayfair, it was basically the Jamaicans that was controlling all that stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans with the gold grill and all that.
Well, they were from Florida. They was from Florida, man.
Yeah, we ran them up. Yeah, we ran up out of there. So,
yeah.
He told them that, right? So the Jamaicans said they coming down here and they're gonna it's gonna be a bloodbath. So he said, "Wow," he took it serious. Wow, I better call the minister and see what. So he said he called the minister and told the minister what the police had told him. So he said the minister, you know how Minister Farrakhan is. He was nice and quiet and cool. He said he asked him, said, "Brother, how long ago was this?" He said, "That was about 2 weeks ago, sir." He said, they told you that about 2 weeks ago. Then he said the minister told him, he said, "Brother," he said, "if they had intentions of doing that to you all, brother, they would have been here by then and did that." You see? They just bringing this to you all so you all can move and try to preemptive type of strikes and then start a lot of stuff with them that's not even warranted. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow, wisdom.
Troublemakers. That's what they were. The police.
Troublemakers.
Right.
Troublemakers.
A wise general. Wise.
Allahu Akbar. Well, look, Brotherhood, Jock Nation, our guest. This was such a wonderful, wonderful talk. It's more to these stories. If you would get the book free, Justified and Made Equal, get the book, The Art of the drill, and you get more information, you get the mindset of the FOI, the training, the thinking of our brotherhood when they who was successful at establishing a beachhead behind enemy lines, fighting a war on two fronts, which is difficult to do. Every general that has fought a war on two fronts, like Hitler, they lost, but the FOI won. Praise be to Allah. May Allah continue to bless you all as you move forward. We want to go ahead and close out. Before we do, we have another video. Or we're gonna show that one at the end. We'll show that video at the end, the last video. But we want to go ahead and give final words. Brother Henry, we'll show it at the end. Brother Henry, we want to give final words.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, we want to thank all three of you brothers for letting us come on tonight. I enjoyed myself explaining the history of the little bit of DC that haven't been told. And we just thank you for allowing us to come on and do that.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for coming, Brother Henry.
Yes,
Brother Darrell, closing words, sir.
Make it quick. Make it quick. So look, all that we went through with the Dope Busters piece, I think it established the type of brotherhood where nothing should be able to come between none of us.
Come on now.
Especially the crew that we always talk about. You know, when Honorable Louis Farrakhan came out with us celebrating the Holy Day of Atonement, that should have let us know right there that we should not hold any grudges with each other. We soldiered together, we fought together, we prayed together. We know each other's families. We saw our children's get raised up. We known these families before they even had children. And now we have grandchildren. All of us know each other to a point where we cannot allow this devil to be that happy to know that he has divided up that original team to a point where there may be some issues.
Right.
We a little bit too old for that. We know the game of the devil.
Come on now.
So when we know that, look, man, this team that we had, just think about if this team, just go back to Kyrie's question a little earlier, can that be done now? Just think if that team that we keep talking about would unite. Just imagine what we could do. But the devil, of course, loves to get in between us and cause friction to make us look at each other crooked because of the love that we had for each other. Devil can't stand that. So, you know, I just want to close out to say, man, I have great memories of the Dope Busters, and I know we developed a serious bond of brotherhood that we all establish now and instill in our children, our grandchildren. So it didn't go for naught. Even though that was 34 years ago, we still remembering that today as if it just happened a year or so ago. Because of the effect. All of us had a crazy impact on the training of men, just like Brother Tim mentioned, and their lives. You talk to any one of these soldiers now, man, they're so thankful for that training that we went through and how it helped them with their current life right now.
Teach.
Right.
Think about how the devil is upset over that. And so we have got to be careful to not carry any type of grudges with each other and remain that same type of brotherhood, and it will spill off to other brothers that know about this story and would believe and understand and know that you can establish a real live brotherhood in the ranks of Islam.
Teach.
Under the guidance. So I want to thank y'all again for having us on the show. It's good to see Brother Tim, Brother Henry, you know, remind us of the old days when we had these long lieutenants meetings overnight.
Yeah, we got to hold back after this show.
You know what I'm saying? But look, we accomplished objectives. In the midst of the Dope Busters, we was number one in the final call. We were selling over 25,000 newspapers.
Come on now.
In the midst of the Dope Busters. We ran 3 campaigns with Minister R.
That's right.
Brashawn and Dr. Lean. We brought the minister to the convention center back to back. When I say back to back, I mean
right.
a Friday and a Saturday. No other city have done these things. And we was in the midst of these sites. So I'm just throwing stuff out there, the things that we did, man, with the type of brotherhood that we established.
Go ahead, brother. Where can they find your book?
Go to that email address that I gave you all earlier, which is DMM Art of Drill, and they can put their order in.
DMM Art of Drill. You got that, brother, engineer?
We looking at fire.
Yeah, no, we have our engineer, man. We gotta wake him up. He coming. Don't worry.
Yes,
all right. So let's
praise be to Allah. Yes,
go
sir.
to you, Brother Tim. Closing words.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank you all, of course, for having us on. I think it's a good platform. I'd like to thank most and foremost, the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because if it wasn't for him, none of us would be here. You know,
That's right.
Right,
and if it wasn't for him, maybe if I imagine anywhere else, I don't think we would have succeeded. He is God's man on this planet. I'd like to thank Brother Darrell and Brother Henry for being here, all 3 of us being here together to share these stories. But like Brother Darrell said, these stories don't have to be stories. With the training, it can be done anywhere if you put into it what should be put into it. The trainer haven't changed. FYI haven't changed. It depends on what you put into it.
Yes, sir.
What you get out of it is what you put into it. So I thank you all so very much. It's been beautiful. And please, here they are, right here. He's the one we've been talking about all night. Free Testifying to Made Equal. And then a case for separation. When you read Free Testifying to Made Equal, it talks about separation. In the end, we separated ourselves. We took over Mayfair Mansion, you know, and in this particular book, A Case for Separation, my wife's grandmother was the first Black doctor in the state of South Carolina, male or female. This is back in 1910. She built 2 hospitals. One was burned down by the Ku Klux Klan, you know, and she built it back again. But in there, she talks about how the Black man need to be separated from the white man and have a nation or territory of his own, where the white man should support it for 20, 25 years. And that's in 1910. So it sounds like she was visited by somebody else.
Yeah, somebody. That's right.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is, look, go to email our 2 books, our OUR2 and books, you know, at yahoo.com. Believe me, I'm not just trying to push it for the book. It's a good read. It's an educational read. And one thing we don't do is read enough. So we need, the white man has made us intellectually lazy. But we don't want to read, but we should read. And I ain't talking about no snips off the phone. We need to get down and read. So I'm saying that we appreciate you purchase the book, you know, for the mind, from Mayfair Mansion to the Million Man March, our 2 book. Thank you all, brothers, so very much again for having us on. And may Allah continue to bless you and all this good and righteous. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. No, thank you, brother. Man, we didn't even get it. I've been wanting to talk to you about how the enemy planted a bug in your house. We can go into that one. We can go into that one day too. We got some stories, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Brother Kyle,
we got plenty of them to tell.
And look, real quick, I just want to say, and I know Brother Tim probably feel the same way as it relates to the books that we have out. You know, it's just like Brother Tim said, it's not about a money maker. We want to share this information so believers can be strong believers.
Yeah.
And so though, as well as those who aren't believers can read a story and have a certain amount of understanding of what it's all about, to be a part of the nation.
Yes,
to be a part of this brotherhood that's of Islam. It's not about making a lot of money off of the sales of these books. When we encourage believers to get the book, we want them to maintain their strength. You know, that Art of Drill book, I really want people to read that so they can see a inside detailed information about drill. And that this is not just an entertainment piece.
Yes,
this is the type of training that will enable you to follow the commands of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Come on now.
Because that's who the real DI is.
That's right.
And so
That's right. That's right.
That's good teaching, Brother Darrell.
Praise be to Allah. So in order to get the book,
let's support our brothers and our sisters, Sister Beverly with the book, The Case for Separation. Let's support those two books, Jock Nation. All right, Brother Kawi, any closing remarks?
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank you for gracing us with your presence, man. Beautiful show. Great stories, great spirit.
Yeah.
Great spirit from coming from men. Jock Brothers is a show about brothers that believe in family, that believe in the community, that believe in business for ourselves. Man, y'all represent that as well as anybody that we've had on this show, especially the community part. I mean, when we say we work hard in our communities to make it a decent and safe place to live, y'all are that on steroids. I mean, y'all are that times 2,000. I mean, and so that, I know Brother Tim just laughed. I mean, that type of spirit, man. Wow. I mean, my God. So, we got Brother Tim, but we got the gospel of Tim. I can't wait to hear the gospel of Brother Darrell, the gospel of Brother Henry. And we had all these other brothers on the show giving great love and respect. Afonso was watching. Man, so many different aspects to this story, man, that just one book just can't tell the story. So my challenge to everybody that was involved with the Dope Busters experience, and get your book. Get your book out here, man, because this story needs to never die. It never needs to be hidden for as long as it has been hidden. Like I was telling Brother Tim the last time he was on the show, I had been hearing his name, but I never knew who he was. I just heard his name until 2 weeks ago, and because of the what y'all and Brother Darrell, man, I've been knowing this brother for years. I never knew he was a part of such a unit. One day we were just talking. We were talking about security, and he just brought this. He brought Dope Busters up to me. I'm like, man, get out of here, bro. And so, man, I hated that. I hated that. I had to find out that way. I should have been knew about this story. So, thank you for coming to the show and sharing. I hope it motivate people. I hope it inspire people to get your books. I hope it inspired different movements, somewhat like Dope Busters was inspired. And may Allah continue to bless you and your families and keep y'all. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, brother. I just want to point out also how the ADL, our enemy was coming against the movement our brothers was doing, and we have that report. This is a report that Student Regional Minister Sharif have, and he was giving it out to us, and definitely it's a lot of information in here, so we want to get this ADL fact-finding report and read how our enemies was coming behind us on every tail, trying to stop what we were doing. All right, Brother Ahmed, any closing remarks, sir?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank all you brothers for your sacrifices and accepting our invitation to come on the show and share that great training, those awesome stories. I just wanted to share one more thing. I wasn't familiar with what was going on in DC at the time. I think I was a teenager then, but in my neighborhood, we started to see the FOI take over the apartment complexes, the NOI security. And the effect of it, because I grew up in the nation, and there was after 75, things slowed down. But because of what you did, the impact of security all over the world, and I started to see the brothers in the apartment complex, and I went to them and said, hey, what y'all doing here? And they began to explain to me about the NOI security and how they were being trained to secure their apartment complexes. So I'd like to thank you, brothers, for all the work you did and all the work you continue to do in this great work. Thank you, brothers.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And something we didn't mention, Jock Nation, the actual Dope Busters, it became NOI Security LLC was the business for part of it. NOI Security. So wherever you see NOI Security, it started out as Dope Busters. But man, my closing word, man, brothers, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna continue keeping this going, brother, because you're coming up now on your 35th year history of this event. And I would hope that there's a reunion and planned and such, and where brothers can come around and sit around a campfire and really talk about that experience, and we can bring the young juniors and let them hear and let them be a part of that experience, so they'll know what they're a part of, their roots. And definitely we want to make sure that we keep our history alive. We don't let no one else tell our history. We write our own books. We keep our own history, because our enemy, they like to stick up behind us and tell our history. So praise Allah for you, brothers. You're here. You wrote your book, Brother Henry. You're a very good speaker, brother, right? Get a nice little book, brother. It would be nice, brother Henry. You have a lot of stories. So let's keep that momentum going. And may Allah bless us all. I want to close with the statement that Dr. Alim made, which it was a powerful statement to me, that he made when he did when he had after the first event, he had to come and speak. It was the first time he spoke, and he made one statement that blew my mind. The way he said it. He said, What we witnessed was militant action in obedience to the principle of charity makes you successful, strong, and invincible. Surely the remembrance of Allah is the most powerful force. That's in Brother Tim's book, Free, Justified, and Made Equal, which is a beautiful read. It's a beautiful read. Those who don't have the book, make sure you get it. Make sure you get the Art of Drill, book 1. Look forward to book 2. So praise be to Allah. We're going to show this video. We're going to close out with this video. And the case for separation from our Sister Beverly Muhammad, who I love dearly. She's my children's teacher. They love her dearly. So praise be to Allah. It's Brother Tim's wife as well. So definitely. Brother Engineer, we want to go ahead and show the video, and we'll close out with the video.
Right here today, and with Dope Busters from Washington, D.C. I said, who we say we are? So all the dope push bad and he's just song. I said, we're back, powerful man. So let us unite and take this stand. I'm Johnny, I'm Mo, and I'm Brother Ali. Come on, everybody, sing along with me. Come join the Dope Busters. Come join the Dope Busters. Powerful man, so let us unite and take this stand. I'm John.
All right, Engineer, get it right now. We missing that drill team. Right? Can't miss that drill team.
The engineer, he almost out the door.
Want me to get it, brothers?
No, I guess that engineer.
I may have to send y'all an original copy.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a VHS tape, man. Our engineer when they got a VHS, man. I don't know what's going on with him, man. But praise be to Allah. Every good hero, I think it was said in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Every good hero needs his own theme music. So we got our theme music, we have our video. May Allah continue to bless us. May Allah continue to bless you all. Look here, Jock Nation, as we say, another one. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, soldiers.
Alaikum salam.
Oh, our engineer quit.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should be fired. That's all.
Look like he quit. Oh no, I gotta do it. Our engineer quit. It's okay.
He just stopped, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hate they ain't show that.